Of course, you're not seeing $2 million budget films in the cinemas anymore. It's because the business model sucks. Let me tell you how bad. I'm Hutch. I'm a producer, an executive producer. Now I run a community of filmmakers who are networking, collaborating, and helping each other break into the industry. First up, theatrical distribution. This one sucks really bad, right? And mostly because the way that you market a single non-scalable product, which is a cinema ticket, right? If somebody buys two cinema tickets because somebody's going with them, so you have an LTV of one cinema ticket. And the reason that they're so difficult to sell is because you basically can't use any social media or tracked marketing. You are forced into the awareness marketing space. That's billboards, that's TV spots, podcasts, hot ones. And the problem with that type of marketing is that it is wildly variable until you are spending tens of millions of dollars, right? Until you get up to that scale, it is very, very difficult to have a reasonable return from a small spend. So spending $2 million on a marketing campaign, unless you're doing like a really specific geographical targeted campaign, right? If you are doing a country or a global release, very, very difficult to spend $2 million and make $2 million back. That's why we see films at the cinema going up towards the $100 million budgets, is because when you're spending that much money on marketing, yeah, you get a reasonable shot at having a good outcome from your film. Now let's talk about digital downloads. Now, you get an interesting bump here because you can use quite targeted data, given that the platform that you're selling on normally will give you some data back as to who is buying it. But the kicker to that is that one family will buy that, so your cost, the amount of money that you make from that product is split between the people in that household. That is obviously variable and you don't really get to understand it, but there you go. And so the people who've been making the most of these films are people like Netflix, right? Because they can make it for relatively cheap, they do it themselves, and then, they're driving 74 cents of revenue for every person that watches 120 minutes worth of that content, which is great, but, not enough to really go after. They're looking for those big series that keep people engaged for a lot longer.